Hey everyone, how's it going? Daryl here. Welcome to the channel. Today we'll be reviewing, unboxing, and demoing the Jmaz Versa Flex Bar.
Versa Flex Bar is a modular all-in-one light bar system that has several removable light options, and Jmaz has sent me a couple of different styles of pars.
But I think they liked my coverage of the Aerospot 60, so they invited me to review more of their products, and this was one of the options, which, you know, I like all-in-one light bars. Not all DJs especially are wanting to spend a lot of time with DMX. They just kind of want a light bar that you just plug and then just turns on and it works. All of the different types of lights coordinate together. And so I'll have links in the description below, and I have a hookup through Hollywood DJs. You can use this code to save an additional 10%. So without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox this. So here we have this gig case. It's pretty heavy duty with protection, but it's pretty lightweight. Go ahead and open this. Okay, that's interesting. We have like this top foam layer. And here we have our light bar. So we have our PowerCon cable, a remote, and some various mounting hardware, and a safety cable. A quick start guide and a more detailed manual. And I will say Jmaz is pretty nice at putting all this documentation on their website. So if you ever lose this, misplace it, you can get the PDF on the website. Whew, it's a little hefty. All right, and here's the light bar. Very interesting. We'll go over this in just a moment. This box is unlabeled. I'm not sure what's in it. Let's open it. So this is a Versa Flex Par 4-unit transport bag. Pretty cool. Here's my dividers. All right, nice. All right, and here are our Versa Pars. Okay, that's pretty cool. A pixel style wash. It has this cable so that I can plug this into the Versa bar system. This is pretty hefty. This feels pretty heavy. We'll go over the specs in a moment, but that's a lot wider than it looks like in photos and videos. It's a 3-in-1, so it has like washes, blinders, and then moving head spots are my favorite kind of mover. They have a really elegant output, and if you can use haze, it looks really cool. So you can put this on top of your favorite light stand. But here on the top, it has these rubber feet, so you can potentially set this down on a surface, just like that. These might be kind of cool on a stage where you can just set it down like that. It also has some screw holes on the top and bottom, so one right there, and one right there. Because it's a modular system, so this is the base unit, but they sell additional lights that you can use as part of the system. Modularity, man, I like modularity. And also worth noting, on the top they have this antenna right here, presumably for the RF remote. So that's a closer look at those movers. They have the Jmaz branding right there, as well as a fan. And on the far left and the far right, it has some spots where you can plug in additional fixtures. Like we mentioned, these bonus fixtures have little plugs, so they just plug into there. It has a 4-button LCD panel, which is labeled Versa Flex Bar. It has power in and out, and it has DMX in and out. And it has these nice indicators to let you know if you're getting power to your additional fixtures on this side as well as the other one. So before I mount this, just note that this mounting bracket looks to be removable. So if you're planning on not mounting it, that might be a good idea. All right, so here it is. Let's go over some of the specs before we install the extra pars. So this light bar has a lot of different LEDs on it. So I'll throw them on the screen right here. And the power of these movers are 30 watts, so pretty bright for something so small and compact. It's a 26-degree beam angle, so that is pretty wide for a spot. And it has 8 colors, including the white, so it has a color wheel. 7 gobos plus the open one, so 8 in total. You can control them in auto or sound active mode with the included RF remote, which doesn't need line of sight, so that's pretty cool. Or with DMX, and there's various DMX profiles so you can control it all. So this is 40 inches across, 5.5 inches deep, and 3 inches tall. That's more like 10 inches with the mover pointing down. And this antenna for the RF remote can go pretty high if you want it to. The spec sheet says it's about 41 pounds, and I'm inclined to believe it. You can do a lot of pixel mapping style effects with this, and you can control everything individually with DMX as well if you are a nerd like that. And again, they have different styles of pars and you can mix and match them. This can't be operated by itself. This is how it has to be operated with the Flex Bar. I showed you this goodie bag earlier. You know, that PowerCon cable is pretty small considering most people are going to be flying this thing tall. But yeah, the goodie bag included these 4 thumb screws, which you can use to install on this guy, on those 4 mounting spots I showed earlier. And it doesn't matter which order I do it. Probably put these on the bottom and these on top. Okay, so as you can see, plugged in. We need to turn it on. It does its calibration thing. Unfortunately, this little screen is upside down, but I wasn't quite sure how to fix that. I looked everywhere and I couldn't figure it out, so I'm probably just going to flip it in post. But I'm going to go over like the remote control operation, and it has a quick start guide that's like pretty good to follow, so I highly recommend that you follow this. It shows a bunch of different operations that you may want to do, how to turn this on, connect it to your remote, and access one of the 12 built-in programs. And a few other goodies like how to activate the strobe and deactivate it for that drop. So you click menu, and then you want to go to number 5, settings. You want to make sure RF remote is on. Okay, it is on my case. And then the ID, you want to select an ID. There's a few you can choose. I'm just going to do the default one. So I click enter, go back to menu, and then here is our Versa Flex Bar. There's 8 RF IDs right here. So you rapidly click this ID 1 3 times, 1, 2, 3. And then you see the signal turned red and this is blinking, meaning this is connected. Like I mentioned, I can click the strobe. Let me zoom out. It's going like crazy, then you click the green button, strobe stops. And if I want to play one of my auto shows, I click auto, and then I click a number, and it like changes the show I'm playing just with this. And I'll show these each in the demo. When it's playing in auto mode like this, I can just simply click strobe, and then I click the play button when I'm done with the strobe, and it goes back to the chase that it was doing. And so you can control a lot of things on here. Something I'm sure you guys will be interested in is the sound active mode. I'm not going to demo that today. And I'll show you what it looks like from the audience view as well as the projection with all the lights turned off. But you can control like the direction of the chases. You can set a static scene. I think a lot of people are just going to be turning this off until it's dance party time. So let's get over to a demo. Show off these 12 auto programs. All right, what do I think of the Versa Flex Bar ecosystem? Because it definitely seems more than just a single light. You know, I like the idea of modularity so that you can use like different lighting fixtures that appeal to you. I like the idea of it all in one bar so that you can just have all your lights from a single fixed point and you just set it up and the no fuss operation. I found being able to dial it in a little bit more tricky than I initially thought it would be, but overall I'm pretty pleased with it. As someone who enjoys pixel mapping style effects to add movement and energy to a dance floor, I think that this is a pretty cool light bar. I think that maybe it ventures a little bit into the chaotic realm for some people. I'm not sure that you need like 3 different styles of wash onto your dance floor or 3 different styles of eye candy. I think that for some DMX programming, you probably get the most out of this lighting fixture. But I think most people getting this lighting fixture aren't looking to do DMX programming.
One of the huge complaints I see of all-in-one light bar systems is that they're not bright enough. I don't feel like that's an issue with the Jmaz Flex Bar. In fact, it may be a little too bright in some situations. The washes are very bright, which is good to wash the dance floor, but I think it's too bright to be an effective eye candy because no one wants to be staring at it for too long. The main wash angle is not adjustable. In my demo, it's facing my camera straight on. I didn't have it very high, but it was really hard to see with my camera facing it directly. Granted, I may have had too much haze in my demo, so I'd really like to see what this looks like at a real gig way up high. And just note that it's 41 pounds, so I don't recommend using a gravity stand unless you add some weight on top of the base plate.
But yeah, overall is an all-in-one light bar solution. Comparing this to like my color key options and the Chauvet Gigbars, I do like it. I do like that it has like more pixel style effects. I'm glad they don't have any Quinta effects. I don't know very many people that actually like the Quinta or the laser. So I think it just gets rid of the fluff, gives us more of the things we like. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with this light bar. It definitely feels more bulky and heavy than some of the other options. And the case is a little bit quirky. It's not my favorite way to transport it. And this is definitely more complicated than the gig bars because you have to take off the light, these 4 additional modular lights before and after each gig, which isn't the biggest inconvenience, but it is a slight inconvenience. This is definitely going to be a lot easier than setting up a bunch of individual lights, running power to all of them. So this definitely is a step in the right direction if you are looking for a more streamlined setup. The Jmaz Versa Flex Bar, what are your thoughts on it? Let me know down in the comments below, and please smash like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.